Welcome back to This Is It TV Football Edition. Today, very briefly, I want to review and give some key takeaways on the Manchester United Brentford game. Of course, Brentford running away 3-1 victors. This analysis today is not a comprehensive one. I will be pointing out certain technical things that I've noticed with this team. Just simple technical under 12 problems that Manchester United players have. And I've narrowed it down to a couple of instances and a couple of players for this particular game. Join me as I give you a brief takeaway from the Brentford-Manchester United game. Welcome again to the channel. This is a TV Football Edition. I'm your host, Dav. Now, I just want to jump right into it. The Manchester United versus Brentford game. Brentford, of course, running away 3-1 winners. And Manchester United again left in the dust. Now, it's a persistent issue. Where are we going wrong? Now, if you've been listening to the punditry on the internet, you would believe that the problem, wholly and solely, is the coach. Now, I must admit, I do not absolve Ruben Amorim of any responsibility in how this team is performing or how they're conducting themselves in games. So let's make that point very clear. I've had conversations with friends who, have literally thrown in the towel on Ruben Amorim. They believe he's not up to task. They believe it's time for a change. Some don't like his mannerism and how he conducts himself on the sideline. They think that's a big issue. I don't tend to agree with that. Now, you may agree or disagree with my take, but here is my analysis of the Brentford-Manchester United game, but also my take on the team in general. There's one of two things happening, or both at once. The players are not good enough, or they're not disciplined enough. And I have evidence to back up my theory. If you watch Manchester United, especially over the last year and a half, let's just say the last 2.5 seasons, what we have seen is persistent technical errors. The same niggling errors that keeps creeping in. Ruben Amorim cannot be responsible for the simple technical issues that these players have. And I beg anyone to dispute my claim. And I hate to say technical. It makes it seem like it's a fancy term that's only reserved for great players. No, I mean under 12 technical issues, right? Passing, moving, running into space, good first touch, recognizing danger, coverage, pressure on the football, 1v1 defending. It's just simple technical and tactical errors. And I will prove it to you in this Brentford game. In the very first 5 minutes, first 5 minutes of this game, Manchester United made at least 3 or 4 palpable technical errors. The first one was Harry Maguire, right? Brentford recovered the ball in transition and plays a ball from deep. Harry Maguire runs on to cover this football, facing his goal. He's under a slight bit of pressure from the Brentford forward. What Harry Maguire does next is befuddling. Instead of using his right foot to pass it back to his goalkeeper, who is in tons of space. There's literally no one else in the frame except Delit, who is open, the entire right side of the field open. Harry Maguire goes to control the football with his right foot, which he should have used his left as his natural foot in that position. Or he had the option to just play it right back to his goalkeeper. He went to use his right foot to take control of that ball, messes it up completely, comes under more pressure, and then had to put the ball out for a throw. From that throw-in, Brentford got their first opportunity at goal, and it was our first time seeing the barrage of long throws that they deployed against us almost cost us a goal. And the scenario for Harry Maguire replays itself in the 5th minute, where the exact same scenario reoccurs. And he chases onto the ball, same pressure from the defender, from the Brentford forward. And this time, he does it the right way. He plays it one touch back to his goalkeeper, and all pressure relieved. So the first time he did something completely wrong, almost cost us a goal. The second time he was able to get it together. Brentford's first goal. We are in attack. The ball is at the feet of Diego Dalot. He has runners ahead of him. He has Sesko, he has Mbuema to his right, and he has Konya, who is in tons of space to his left. That's the obvious pass. Konya with a right and with a proper pass is in clean on goal, because Sesko and Mbuema has taken away the defenders. And it's an under-hit pass that Konya has to check his run to adjust his pace so he could receive the ball, by which time the defender has recovered, bundles over Konya, which is obviously a foul that wasn't given. Brentford recovers this ball, and again from that same deep line midfield position. See, what Brentford figured out very quickly, and apparently even before this game, is that if they bypass the midfield, if they might bypass all that midfield build-up and just go long over the top to their attacker, who is big, strong, and pacey, we have nothing to answer that, because our defenders are slow, lethargic, they are indisciplined, and they are not proactive. They're just reactionary. 4 or 5 times Brentford played that ball in behind and caused chaos. 2 of that 4 or 5 times resulted in a goal, and we're going to go through it. So we recover Brentford recovers that football from that underhit pass, which is a clear, simple pass into the channel for Konya from Dalot, which he messes up. Brentford recovers that pass, that ball, long ball over the top. For some reason, Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt, and Luke Shaw is hugging the halfway line when our attack is at the top of Brentford's 18-yard box. It's remarkable. In any decent team, if your attackers, or if your attack is at the opponent's 18-yard box, your defensive line is then somewhere around middle of the opponent's half. We are technically 10, 15 yards behind the play. Long ball over the top. Again, Harry Maguire caught 1v1 with a pacey, strong forward. That was never going to be a contest. But now we come back to Diego Dalot. What can I say? The chief cheerleader for the team, a professional high-fiver. Diego Dalot specializes in high-fiving, and that is his marquee position. He should be the team's cheerleader. I can't say it no other way, because he doesn't. What does he contribute? So let's look at the second goal from the Brentford striker. We again outnumber Brentford defensively, but a ball is played over the top onto the right side of our defenders, over De Ligt's shoulder. He's caught scrambling. Diego Dalot, who is the right-sided defender, the right-sided fullback, what does he do? He also has a mark in Sade, the Brentford's winger, on that side that the ball is played. Instead of Dalot covering outside, he makes Dalot makes his way heading infield, where Harry Maguire is already providing coverage. So now he leaves De Ligt not only to recover to challenge the Brentford forward, but also potentially to cover Sade, who is out wide. So Diego Dalot has already given up and found himself in no man's land, because he's busy trying to come to recover inside, which is usually not a bad idea. But under the circumstances, what he should have been doing was looking to provide coverage for De Ligt and provide pressure on Sade in case he received that pass, which he indeed did. So by the time that pass gets to Sade out wide, and he makes an effort on goal, which is parried into the path of his oncoming forward, neither Harry Maguire, nor Diego Dalot, nor De Ligt is in any position to affect the play. From that one long pass from inside Brentford's midfield, we have three players who are caught in no man's land. De Ligt never recovered from that pass over the top. Harry Maguire never came across in time to provide any pressure, and Diego Dalot never recovered effectively to neither pressure, cover, nor provide any balance. This is a story of our life. Manchester United does not have technically or tactically disciplined players, and it's just a fact. It is just a fact. This is when you see Amorim puts his head in his hands, and when you see him look a dejected figure on the sideline, I can imagine as a coach myself what is going through his mind. He cannot say it, but I'll say it. These players are not good enough. Okay, I want to go tactically. Let's take a look at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace plays the exact same formations, exact system, but with a different variation, right? And the variation is this. In their front three, the number 9 and the two number 10s, their two number 10s play more central. They especially the right side, where the fullback is Daniel Munoz, I think his name is, Colombian. This is why this player was able to get Player of the Year for Crystal Palace last year, because that right flank is exclusively his. That channel is open exclusively for Munoz, right? In our system, what we find is that Mbeumo constantly finds himself playing wide. So he overcrowds that area where, let's say, Ahmad, and you may have noticed in the last two games where Ahmad was a little bit quiet. It is because that channel which he would regularly play openly and freely in seems to be always congested by Mbeumo. So I believe Mbeumo needs to be a little bit more disciplined. I don't know if this is how Ruben Amorim wants him to play, and I'm pretty sure this is not how he wants him to play. But again, it's that indiscipline in structure, it's that indiscipline in keeping that tactical awareness, right? So Mbuemo, instead of keeping it condensed and occupying the central defenders of the team and leaving the outside channels open, which is exactly how the system is supposed to work, he finds himself being dragged into wider positions. I think just naturally trying to get space to function in, right? But Cunha actually does a little bit better in playing from a more central position, right? The issue that we're having with Cunha is that working back defensively is not his strong point. But what I do like about Cunha is his personality. Notice when he gets on the ball, all Cunha wants to do is go at the defenders. And sometimes he's a little bit overzealous with it and not seeing that final pass. He wants to take that final shot from some awkward positions. However, I don't mind that personality in a team that lacks personality exclusively. You know, say what you want to say about Bruno, and I have a lot to say about him. His personality, his ability, or his want, or his need to get on that ball and try something is a plus for me. It's an asset, right? So these are just small technical things that I'm trying to point out. Oh, another thing. One thing that I did not like at all, Sesko got his first goal in a Manchester United shirt. No one, and if you saw otherwise, let me know. Let me know in the comments. No one made their way over to Sesko to congratulate him. I didn't see a high five. The high fiver in chief, Diego Dallo, was nowhere to be found. And you could probably put it down to the fact that they were uncertain if the goal would stand, but that has never stopped them before. So what the hell happened here? I was uniquely surprised by that lack of support or encouragement for Sesko. Right? That was a goal that he desperately needed too. I'll just say this. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to get right. We have a lot to work at. However, if the players are not technically there, there's not much we could do coaching. And one thing that was noticeable for me also is the lack of intensity in our start. We were always behind. We were always second in our duels and in our challenges. And as bad as we've been, that has not been the story of our season so far. The story of our season so far has been fast starts. This Brentford game, we had a very slow start. We were lethargic. I don't know if it had nothing to do with the early game as it is, because this is our first early game of the season, and in fact, we have been playing on Sunday for the majority of the season. Even though our Saturday game was a later game, right? But we were very lethargic. So, you know, what can we do? We just have to keep working. We have to keep pushing. I think our team lacks pace right throughout. I think the team lacks strength, aggression from front to back, because even Matthias de Ligt, as aggressive as he seems and as aggressive as he portrays to be, he is very, very uncontrolled in his movement. He's very uncontrolled in his actions, you know. And as a result of this, you may notice he constantly gets in the way of other players. He bundles over his other players, always seems to be running into a clearance that one of our players are making. Just look back at the games, how much he gets in the way. And, you know, it's not a bad thing. He's trying to be there, he's trying to be present, but he's very uncontrolled in his actions, right? So, again, we're lacking speed, we're lacking that aggression from front to back. We are lacking discipline, and we're lacking technical application. We support the team. We go forward. We look forward to the next game. And, you could call me delusional, but I still think Ruben is going to get it right. What I don't think we should do right now is even consider changing the coaches again. Since Alex Ferguson left, David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralph Rangnick, Eric Ten Hag, and now Ruben Amorim. How many more coaches must we go through before these players are either changed, shipped out, or get their heads wrapped around the task? That's my take. Those are my key takeaways. Manchester United, Brentford. We look forward to the next game. I look forward to seeing you next time on This Is It TV Football Edition.